everybody, it's Anna and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna show you what I read in the month of April. I managed to read 4 books this month and I enjoyed all of them. So I would say I had a very successful month. The first book I picked up and finished was Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. And I wanted to read this one because it has a movie coming out. It's still not out in Germany, but we're getting there, just one more month to go and then I can see it as well. And I wanted to read this book before I get all of the spoilers on the internet. So I picked it up. I read the first third of the book, I would say, over a few days, which is usual for me. And then I picked it up again during one of the reading sprints with the seasonal series readathon on Twitter. And I could not put it down. I joined the very last sprint of the day. So it was 10 p.m. I think, and I could not put it down. I think I went to bed at 3 a.m. because it was good. It was very good. So for anyone out there who does not know what this book is about, this book follows Simon, who is secretly gay. No one knows he's gay, but he's sending emails back and forth with this other person who's also gay, but unfortunately Simon does not know who this person is. He only has kind of a screen name and he only knows that this person goes to his school. And at one point he figures that this person's also male. I thought this one was following a very cute and fresh coming out story. I don't know why, I was kind of fearing this to be, you know, a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit awkward. It wasn't. It was very funny and a light read, and it dealt with the whole situation very, very nicely. So I would very much recommend this one. I heard the movie is good. I have not seen it for myself yet, so I give the book 5 out of 5 stars. Would read it again. So then, one day I figured out that there was a Harry Potter readathon going on in April, the Owl readathon. Yeah, I was late, but I joined anyway. I managed to only read 3 books, so definitely not Hermione level. I didn't even get an outstanding. I don't even know what I got because I was so annoyed with myself that I did not manage to finish the other books that I'm already reading. But one of the books I read for my charms exam was A Conjuring of Light by B. Schwab. And oh man, I had this book on my shelf for a whole year now. Even more than that actually. And I have not picked it up because I'm that type of person who does not want to finish things. I don't know why. I can watch 8 seasons of one TV show in 3 or 4 weeks and then not watch the last one. I did this a few times. I still have to finish so many series because I don't want to let go. I don't want to read the last one and to watch the last one in that matter, but I have not picked it up because I did not want to let go of this world. At the same time, I was very curious to find out how this ends and I was really missing the characters, but I did not pick it up. So now, for the All readathon and the seasonal series readathon as well, I picked it up. Finally. I loved it. Just as the other two. I'm so happy I finally picked it up, and maybe this will motivate me to, finish series whenever the last one comes out. That would be great. That would be very great. I will not tell you what this one is about, but I can tell you what the first one is about. The first book follows Cal, who is an Antari, and Antari are magicians who can do magic with their blood. In the world of the Shades of Magic series, there are 4 Londons, which are the center of 4 different worlds, basically. And the 4 Londons are the black, the white, the grey, and the red London. And the red London, for example, has magic. Like, there are a lot of people who can do magic, especially with like elements, air, water, fire, that kind of stuff. And then there are Antari. And Kel is one of the very, very, very few Antari. And he can travel between these worlds. He can actually use his blood magic and go into another London, whereas other magicians who do not use their blood to do magic do not do that. Well, Cal can also do magic without his blood, but this, you know, blood magic is like the cherry on top. And one of the Londons is already dead, and one of the Londons, the white one, is very kind of corrupt. Everyone wants magic, but there's not much of it left. Grey London does not have magic, and Red London has a lot of it. And we follow Cal, who gets something that he needs to bring into another London, which actually is not allowed, but he is kind of a rule breaker. And this object is not what he thought it is. And then he decides he needs to, you know, do some things about it, and on his way this object gets stolen by Lila, our second main character. And Lila is an excellent thief, and she is amazing. She is very badass. She was great in this book. I don't think I should tell you more. However, the characters in this book were great. I heard some people say they were annoyed with certain characters, but I did not feel that. I love every single one of these characters the way they are. I really like the character developments we get in here. Since this is the last book in the series, and since it's written by Ms. Schwab, there are some very heart-wrenching moments. There are things happening that I would rather not have happened, but I'm not the author, I'm just the reader, I have to cope. Yeah. Characters were great. Victoria's writing styles is one of my favorites. I really enjoy the way she writes. It's kind of very easy to read, but at the same time there are passages which are quite, I don't know, quite lyrical, I want to say. It's my kind of writing style. I enjoy it very much. If you actually read this book or any other Victoria Schwab books and you can recommend me an author who writes kind of in the same style, please do. This is the one for me. I really enjoyed where she went with the plot here. Again, there are moments that are heart-wrenching, but altogether, this was very enjoyable. I'm kind of in a loss for words right now. I gave it 5 stars because it was a very good ending to the story, and I'm so happy that we are getting 3 more books in this world because I do enjoy it. Like, I think there's so much more to discover in this world, because in this series we stay quite a lot in London and I really want to see more of it. Then for my human studies exam in the ALS readathon, I decided to pick up The Diary of Anne Frank. I don't really know what to say about that one. Like, I enjoyed reading it. It was really nice getting this insight of whatever happened during the Second World War from a perspective of someone who was like in the middle of it. I was quite surprised of how mature Anne's writing style is for I think she's 12 years old in the beginning of the book. For a very young girl, basically. She's writing beautifully. I read the book in its German translation, so obviously I do not know how the original diary was written, but I assume it's quite close to whatever the translator did with the German version. And yeah, it's just, you read it, you know what will happen, but it's still sad. It's very sad. However, I felt like it was great to read that. I did not read the book because that's not the type of a book that you would want to read, I think. At least I do not want to read it. I enjoyed it. Very informative. Yeah. The next book I picked up was The Hidden Oracle by Rick Riordan, which follows Apollo, who has been turned into a teenage boy by Zeus, because Zeus was very angry with him, and this is the kind of punishment that Apollo gets when he's messing up. And it was funny. I like Rick Riordan's humor. I think he manages to make it very funny, and at the same time, like, there are so many jokes and so many things in this book that I think can be very hard to put into a middle grade book and not make it sound cringy, which Rick Riordan manages to do. I don't know how he does that. I mean, he's a little bit older. I think he's the same age as my dad, and my dad doesn't even know what Twitter is. So I just love it, how he puts this stuff in there. I currently don't have like a good example of that, but all of these, you know, like online language, Twitter language, all of the memes, he puts them in there. And it's done in such a good way. It makes you laugh. At least I like it. It makes me laugh a lot. I gave this book, I think, 3.5 stars. Not because there was something wrong with it, just because I feel like with the time, I don't know, it's not for me that much anymore. Obviously, it's a middle grade book, and I read it because it's funny to read and because it's a fluffy read. But at the same time, you know, it's not that complex considering the plot. It does do a good world building, even though this is, I think, his 3rd series with the Greek mythology. He does explain what the, you know, gods are, in case you have not read the other series and this is your first book. He brings back old characters in a great way. I'm not sure whether I will pick up the next book. I'm intrigued and I enjoy these books, just like I said. Maybe they're not for me anymore. I don't know. I read Magnus Chase a year ago or 2 years ago now, and I did not enjoy it that much as I enjoyed Percy Jackson and the Olympians, or the Heroes of Olympus series. I don't know. Maybe I will pick up the audiobook, because I actually listened to half of this on audiobook, and the narrator is great. If you are interested in this book and you are considering picking it up on audiobook, I can recommend it, definitely. The narrator does a great job with all the voices, and every now and then I thought that there must be a second narrator there, but no, it's just the one. He's amazing. One thing that could get slightly annoying, I can imagine, is that, you know, it's Apollo. He is very, at least in this world, he is very self-centered, and he is very full of himself, and, you know, you get the idea. So we get a lot of jokes about him being, you know, how could he not worship me? How can Percy not have a Maserati to drive me around? You know, this kind of stuff. So it can get annoying after a while, but I thought it was funny because it's Apollo, it's what his character is supposed to be, so I thought it was quite alright there. And yeah, that was my reading for April. If you have read 1 or 2 or 4 of the books that I've read, tell me in the comments below. We can talk about them. If you have not picked up Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda, I can very much recommend that one. I also can very much recommend reading A Darker Shade of Magic, the whole series. Victoria has done a great job with those books. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Have a great day. Until then, bye. And maybe this will